winds of change are blowing through the energy industry. Concern over carbon, desire for sustainable energy, and delicate world politics are shifting the atmosphere. Modern wind farms, about 100 megawatts or larger, can now deliver electricity at prices that beat coal-fired and nuclear power plants. But not everyone agrees that the whole world should be on the wind. Wind draws its power from the sun. The breezes blow because Earth's poles get less solar energy than its equator. And because oceans take longer to heat up and cool down than land masses. Warm air molecules dance faster, rising up, lowering the air pressure. And wind is what we get when cooler air rushes in to equalize that pressure. Twice the wind speed gives you up to 8 times the energy. Generally, the higher you go, up to about 7 miles, the faster the airflow. Double your altitude and you'll feel about an 11% increase in wind speed. Enough wind energy reaches the surface that humanity could, in theory, capture more than 70 trillion watts every moment with wind farms on land alone. That's more than 5 times the current worldwide demand for electricity. Well, you can't carpet the whole Earth with wind turbines. So to win the wind game, you've got to get really good at grabbing energy. Wind farmers typically talk about what they call capacity factor. That's a comparison between what a system could theoretically produce and what it actually generates. The best engineered wind turbine seldom does better than a capacity factor of about 45%. And to reach that, you're likely to need a great big turbine. A typical new one stands 250 feet tall, rising into the clear, fast airflow, well above most buildings and obstructions. And it can churn out enough juice to light about 30,000 100-watt light bulbs at a time. These beasts are big, but they are relatively easy to mass produce, although currently there are not enough factories to meet demand. More than 90,000 wind turbines are spinning right now around the world. Germany has enough of them to pull a flow of up to 22 gigawatts out of thin air. But that's just a light breeze in comparison to the hurricane of wind energy development underway in the United States. By 2020, the US alone could be harvesting 150 gigawatts of nearly carbon-free power every moment from rotating wind turbine blades. That's enough to fully power 50 million homes at the rate we, in North America, currently use electric current. But no revolution is perfect. Most buildings are not electrically heated. No truly efficient way to store electricity yet exists. Significant amounts of power are lost in long transmission lines. And as ranks of large wind turbines have begun filling the skyline in areas of unobstructed high wind flow, local residents have sometimes lashed out in protest. Wind developers sometimes call this the "not in my backyard" or "never build anything near anyone" syndrome. But it's true, these machines are not silent, often emitting a low-frequency thrum that's carried for miles on the very air that powers them. Most other electric power sources are neither seen nor heard. The juice just appears in our outlets, along with a monthly bill in our mailboxes. Spinning blades can kill birds and bats. Turbines can catch fire. Blades can shred. Towers can tip over. And there's no denying that a standing army of these contraptions can dramatically change the landscape. Or the seascape just off the coast. One new solution is to put them far out to sea, over the horizon, where the wind is always strong. These turbines would actually float in the deep water, anchored to the seabed with the power cabled ashore. In fact, turbines of about 4 megawatts or more, with enormous blades up to 400 feet in diameter, really only become safe and efficient when placed offshore. Planet Earth's strongest winds blow over the oceans. And interestingly, most people live near the seacoasts. The optimal wind speed seems to be about 35 miles an hour. Much faster than that, and most wind turbines are programmed to shut down. You sure don't want them throwing a giant turbine blade, especially anywhere near people. Some places are just lucky. They have wonderful wind flow, like Rockport, Missouri, the first and only city in the United States that runs completely on wind power. It takes just 4 of their turbines to run the whole town. They sell surplus power to others. And Rockport citizens probably won't see their utility rates go up for 2 decades. Wind-rich villages, towns, and cities like Rockport have room to grow their wind industries. And their business models can be replicated around the globe. The climate for wind energy is certainly changing. And maybe changing the world.